This is Riri Williams, your new Iron Man, right? This is woke Iron Man. This is woke Disney and woke Marvel's version of Iron Man. This is the Iron Man they wished people loved. And this is probably also the worst human being ever in the history of Marvel. And I'm going to explain to you as to why. And I truly do believe this. When we think of the worst people in Marvel, I can't think of anybody worse morally to their core than Riri Williams. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because I just finished watching the last 3 episodes of Ironheart, of this garbage show that Disney wishes, I think they prayed that people would forget about this, but we're not. We are never going to forget this. And we're going to keep reminding Disney that they gave us this garbage, just like we keep reminding them that they gave us garbage like The Acolyte and the Kenobi series. But anyway, back to the worst character ever in the history of the MCU, or the MCU, I'm sorry. Riri Williams starts off this show with her telling you, not showing you, telling you that she is going to be superior than Tony Stark. She is going to be the smartest person ever. She tells you this. And then she goes on to complain that she is not being afforded more liberties, more stuff over at MIT, even though they gave her a full scholarship, a full ride, right? She still feels entitled to more. And what does this shitty individual do? She steals from MIT. She takes a suit that she built there, right? That's their property. She steals this from them, and she runs off to Chicago. And what does this horrible human being, Riri Williams, do next? Well, she tells us that her plan is to get a job at a lab that's big enough to where she can steal and they won't even notice. These are her goals. These are the goals of an individual that Disney is telling us is a hero, that Disney is telling us little girls should look up to. So after this, after she gets sidetracked by this gang in Chicago, right, they pretty much get her to join this gang. They get her to join this gang, and she sees this as means to earn money to where she can build a suit of armor for herself so she could be iconic, not to go save the world, not to go save Chicago, but for her own selfish ambitions. And what does she do while she's in this gang? She steals, she hurts people, she lets people in her gang die in the worst way imaginable, suffocation. Right? She literally sees this man die and suffocates to death, and she does not care. She does not beat an eye. She just runs off. And it gets worse. Because what does she do next? You're like wondering, what the hell can she possibly do next? She meets the MCU's version of the devil himself, Mephisto. Here it is right here.
Mephisto.
Hello.
That's him right there. She meets him. And what does she do? Well, she sells her soul to Mephisto. She literally sells her soul to Marvel's version of the devil. So again, she could be fulfilled with her own selfish desires to bring back a friend that was taken out. Right? His friend comes back, and now we realize that she has these glowing things all over her hand, indicating that she did, in fact, sell her soul to Mephisto. So again, my question to Disney, my question to Marvel is, how the hell are you supposed to tell little girls that this is someone that they can look up to? How the hell are you supposed to convince us that this garbage character, Riri Williams, is supposed to be an improvement to that of Tony Stark? And I don't want to hear about Tony Stark being an arms dealer and he sold weapons and this and that. He when he was doing that, and we know this because if you watched the first Iron Man movie, you realize that he had no idea that weapons were being sold to enemy combatants. He thought that weapons were just being sold to the good guys, right? It was ultimately when he found out that they were being misused and used for evil that he took it upon himself to try and correct the wrong that he unintentionally created, right? That's a redeemable quality. That's a redeemable motivation, a righteous motivation for the creation, the birth of a hero, which is Iron Man. With Riri Williams, we get none of that. What we get is this childish immature brat that is just in it for herself and is willing to do anything and everything, including destroying lives and ending them for her own selfish ambitions. And she does not care of any ramifications whatsoever, not even for her own soul, because she sells her soul to Marvel's version of the devil. Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you the worst human being ever in the history of Marvel. Riri Williams, this person right here. Given to us by Marvel. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. And like always, don't forget to subscribe. Sensational.